इसकी चार्जिंग છે मीटिंग ચાલે છે ને સેશન નું નહીં છે બીજું છે
Let's wait for one more minute, then we can start.
આનું તો નહીં લાગે છે આ નહીં કરતું
Okay, then we can start. Am I audible? Can anyone please confirm from the
Yes, sir.
chat? Yeah, thank you. And my slides are visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Shreyansh. So, good evening, all. Welcome to the fifth session of our problem solving discussion for the subject NOC 22 C68 Ground Improvement Technique. This course is currently being tutored by Professor Dilip Kumar Bedia, who is head and professor from Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. Myself, Rituraj Singh Sujawat. I am PMRF Fellow from Department of Earthquake Engineering, IIT Roorkee. So, I guess you guys have attended earlier, so no need to give the objectives again. So, let's start with our question and answers straight away. So this week was basically revolving around the vibro compaction and the deep replacement method. So the today's question are currently based on the vibro compaction and the deep replacement. So the first question for you guys are like the the equipment which we are basically using for the vibro compaction are among these three: crane, hydraulic vibrator, air compressor, or all of the above. Okay, yeah, Shreyansh, the answer is D. So we are basically using all the three major components while using the vibro compaction technique for the ground improvement. So if we typically see the diagram of that, so this is the crane which is holding the probe, and this probe is being penetrated into the ground, and here at the end of the probe we can see like there is a vibrator which is basically densifying the soil in the lateral direction. Coming to the next question, the tributary area of compaction point versus relative density of soil curve is given below. The zone which is basically representing the well graded clean sand is, so these three zones are basically representing three types of soil. So which zone is representing well graded clean sand? Yeah, Tushar. So yeah, we are having the zone C, which is basically representing the well graded clean sand. So zone A is the silty sand, which is having the 5 to 15% of silt, if I may write it. So zone A is basically the silty sand, which is having the 5 to 15% of silt. And then we are having the zone B, which is having the uniform fine to medium sand, and then we are having the zone C, which is the well graded clean sand. So this diagram is basically the design curve which we basically use to evaluate the surface area at the site corresponding to any relative density in the vibrocompaction method. Any doubt in this? If no doubt, then I guess we can move to the next question. Like there are various performance criteria for any geomaterial like before the vibrocompaction. So one of the criteria is like we should have the relative density greater than 60%, greater than or equal to 60%, and that criteria we are basically using for one of the structural member for any type of structure. So which type of member this performance criteria is referred to, like for relative density greater than 60%? You can answer in the chat box, and if you are having any doubt with the question, like you can unmute yourself and you can ask the doubt, or you can post your query in the chat box also. I am repeating question again, like for vibrocompaction performance criteria for geomaterial, that criteria should be greater than, that our relative density should be greater than 60%. It should be considered for which of the member of the structure? Okay, Shreyash. You guys can take help of the lecture PDF you are having, or if you are having the notes of the lectures. Yeah. Yeah, so the answer is floor slabs. It was correct. Thank you, Shreyash. So these are the different performance criteria given for the vibro compaction method. So for floor slabs, for bottom tanks, or for the embankments, we are basically considering that our soil should be having the relative density greater than 60%, and under the column footing and the breach foundations, we should have relative density greater than or equal to 70 to 75%. And for machinery and the mat foundation, because this type of structures or the foundations, we can say like they are basically subjected to the dynamic loading. So beforehand, only before the construction or before the any cause, like from the earthquake or from any vibration, our soil should have that much cohesion, or like we can say the density should be that much higher. So when after the earthquake hit that soil, that relative density should not drop down that much. So that's why for machinery and mat foundation, we should have the relative density greater than or equal to 80%. Any query with this? No query. Like today's question are mostly theoretical. 3-4 questions are numerical. So if you had gone through the lectures, you can solve them. So yeah, the fourth question. So in the vibro compaction method, like after the vibro compaction, we are having some settlement in the soil, and that settlement we are like filling it from some backfill again. So the question is, referring the figure below and assuming AE as the influence of each compaction prop, and E0 and E1 as the initial and after compaction void ratio respectively, the correct expression for volume changes with backfill is. So the void ratio for this soil is E0 after the compaction, like after the compaction, and with the backfill we are having the E1. So the volume changes like after the compaction can be best represented by which of the expression given here. Just solve the expression. I'll be back in 1 minute. 1 minute. Any answer, guys? Okay, let me solve it. So yeah, the expression is given by Vf equals to Vs E naught minus E1. So if we consider, like, initially our soil volume is having the uh, V naught volume. So that V naught volume is basically consisting of the volume from the voids as well as the volume from the soil. Volume of the voids we know is given as volume of solids into void ratio. Considering initial void ratio is E naught and Vs, so the whole expression can be written as Vs equals to 1 plus E naught. And after the compaction, if we see, like, we are having the V1, and with the same expression, if we see, the volume of solids are same because only void ratio is changing, so the volume corresponding to the voids are changing, and that void ratio is E1. So since the change in the volume is given by V naught minus V1, so we are having Vs E naught minus E1. V naught minus V1 is basically the change in the volume, and that is being filled by backfill. So it's given as Vf equals to Vs E naught minus E1. So yeah, that is your answer basically. Any doubt in this? Simple geomechanics problem. If no doubt, like, let's move to next question. So during the vibro compaction, we are having the different methods to calculate the spacing between the props, or like the points where we are doing the compaction. So the question here is the equivalent radius of a circle for a square pattern system of vibro compaction. So in vibro compaction, we are in the lectures we have seen two types of pattern: square pattern as well as the hexagonal pattern. So corresponding to the square pattern, what should be the radius of the confinement which we used to consider? So you can directly give the answer, or you can calculate also geometrically. Okay. Yeah, so the answer is 0.564 second. So to better see how it derived, so for example, this is a grid and this is the point. Let me take a white color. So this is the grid we are having, and for example, this is the points where we are having the vibro compaction. So basically we are compacting. If the spacing between any two locations under consideration is s, and if for example if we are confining here, so since the confinement probe is in the cylindrical in shape, so the corresponding confinement to the nearby soil will also be cylindrical. That's why if we consider the half, like the radius as the s by 2, like if we consider the confinement is happening around the probe corresponding to the spacing, and if we draw, since the calculation from the cylindrical part is difficult, so we are making a square, and so we need to calculate the equivalent radius here. So basically, to get the radius, we assume that the area under influence for the confinement from the cylindrical probe is equal to the square shape confinement happening. So the confinement corresponding to the square pattern is s square, and if we consider the confinement from the cylindrical probe, we are having the pi r square. So if you want to get the relation between r as s, so that is equals to 0.564 s. Where s is the spacing between one second guys. One second guys, I guess this problem. So we see s is the spacing between the two probes. Moving to the next question. So yeah, this is the design problem we are having. So if we are having a 5-meter thick loose sand exists on a site that has a fine content of around 10% with nominal clay particles, and the maximum and the minimum void ratio are given as 0.95 and 0.485 respectively, and the initial void ratio of the sand is 0.673, and the design requires the sand to be densified at a target relative density of 75%. So the void ratio corresponding to the 75% relative density is. So this is the design problem for vibro compaction. So maximum and minimum void ratio of the soil is given, and the void ratio before compaction is given, and we need to achieve a certain relative density which is 75%. So the void ratio corresponding to 75% relative density is, so here are 4 options. Just calculate question number 6. If you have any doubt in any part, just post your query in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself also and ask the doubt. Okay, we are having one answer. Minimum and maximum void ratios are given. Relative density is given. So I guess it shouldn't bother you to calculate the void ratio corresponding to the given relative density. Those who have calculated sixth, like, just see in the seventh question also, and you can together give answer for both. So yeah, answer for D is 0.592. And like, since the void ratio in the second part is decreasing, so after the compaction, how much is the subsidence? So subsidence is basically the settlement of the soil after the compaction. And also we are not putting the backfill after the compaction. So in the second part you just need to calculate the subsidence. So yeah, this is the second question, and yeah, this is the first part. I know there are formulas given in the lectures, but you can go from the simple mechanics problem also. Like, if you know the relation between the void ratio or the total volume, then you can solve this question. Yes? Yeah, come. So Shreyash, you may want to tell like how did you solve that? Only if you are comfortable, no problem. Anyone else with some other answers for relative density and
Sir,
subsidence?
I
Yeah, yeah, Shreyash.
sir, the one with the relative density, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. This one actually, as you said, formula tha, to from formula itself I did. So
Okay.
dr equals emax minus e naught divided by emax minus e min. Emax or e min are given. Dr is 0.75. So equation rearrange करके you can get the answer.
Okay. Subsidence.
Substituents also from formula itself, sir.
Okay. So you can tell the formula of that also. Like, did you solve it from the formula or manually did you calculate? Fine, no problem. Anyway, it's great. Thank you, Suresh. Anyone with some other answer? Okay, then like let's solve it. So first with the relative density. So we are having the 1 second. E max, E minimum is given. So E max and E minimum has 0.4. E minimum is 0.485 and E maximum is 0.915. The targeted relative density targeted is 75%. Initial void ratio before compaction is 0.673. So first we need to calculate the relative density and then we need to calculate the subsidence. So first go for the relative density. Relative density formula is straight away E max minus initial void ratio, E max minus E minimum. E max we know 0.915. E note for initial is given as 0.673. E max is 0.915 again minus E minimum 0.485. divided by so relative density is 0.562. So yeah, 0.592. So where I went from 0.673, 0.915, 0.485 relative density E max minus E naught. Okay, I had calculated the previous relative density. Now for relative density corresponding to 75%, we need to calculate the void ratio. So 0.75 is equals to 0.915 minus E naught, 0.915 minus 0.485. So void ratio so if you simplify the equation, 0.915 minus 0.485, 0.915 minus answer. Yeah, so this is 0.592. Next we need to calculate the subsidence. Any query, Tushar?
No, sir.
Okay. Next we need to calculate subsidence. So okay. So for example, if we consider a soil matrix, initial void ratio, if it's V0, and here we are having the V1. So and we are having the volume of voids here, volume of solids here. After the compaction, due to the decrease in the void ratio, one second. V0 V1, and after the decrement of the void ratio, we are having the new volume of voids and new volume of solids. Volume of solids will be same, volume of voids will change. So from previous expression which we have calculated, so the change in the volume is basically like VF, we can say the expression we have calculated in the previous expression. So that is equals to Vs E0 minus E1. Okay. So basically we need to calculate the subsidence. So if this is the reference point I consider, this, I'm extremely sorry for my drawing. So this is the subsidence we are having. So if you, in the plane of the paper, if you consider the dimension is a unit dimension, so the total volume here is given as S into 1, and initially if we consider the overall soil volume is having the depth of H, so H into 1, sorry, this is the volume of soil. So first we need to derive the relation between volume of soil and total volume. So initially total volume, so total volume is given as volume of soil plus 1 plus E naught, which we have calculated. So total volume Vt upon Vs 1 plus E naught, and this is E naught minus E1. Now the total volume can be given as h into 1 if we consider unit dimension again into the plane of the paper. And this is the Vt by Vs we are having. V final. Okay, we are having the Vs here also, so it will get cancelled out. So the final expression will be S by H S by H E naught minus E1 1 plus E naught. So as we need to calculate total height, I guess it's given 5 meter. E naught is given. Okay, E naught we have calculated. Yeah, E naught is given 0.673. And new initial void ratio, I guess 0.592, which we have calculated, plus 0.673. So it's 0.24. So yeah, even if you don't know the formula, like with the simple geometrical relation you can derive. So answer is 0.242 meter. Okay. So over with the vibro compaction, let's move to the deep replacement method. So yeah, first question is, in the displacement method of deep replacement, which type of soil we usually go? Like, question is, displacement method of deep replacement is suitable for which type of soil? A, cohesive soil, B, cohesionless soil, or like for both, or none of the above? Definitely none of the above is not the option. So choose from the first three. By the way, any problem with previous question? Okay, then solve this. You can refer your lecture notes, or if you know, you can give the answer. Any answers, Shreyash? Which type of soil we usually go for deep replacement? Tushar, we are having Kota, Murti. So this type of method we usually prefer for both cohesive soil and the cohesionless soil. So since in the deep replacement we are basically replacing the soil and replacing it with a better soil, which can increase the density of the soil, or it can increase the bearing capacity, as well as it will reduce the settlement. So for both cohesive and cohesionless soil, we can replace the uh, problematic soil with the good soil, and we can have a ground improvement there. Okay, thank you, Kota. Like, let's move to the next question. 9. For displace for displacement technique, the incorrect method from the following is. So among four of these, one of the method is not categorized under displacement technique. Which one of them it is? Yeah, so the answer is vibro displacement. All three methods lies under the category of displacement technique, but vibro displacement we are not considering under this technique. Last question for today's session. The dynamic replacement technology is suitable for the improvement of which type of soil? So again, you need to choose the soil for which we prefer dynamic replacement technology. So yeah, if you can check again, the dynamic replacement technology we are using for both cohesive soil as well as the soft organic soil. The reason behind this is because for the saturated cohesive soil, we can have the rearrangement of the particles with the dynamic replacement technology. So if we are having the vibration under the prop, and for the soft organic soil, like since we are replacing the soil simultaneously while confining, so it can be replaced with some better soil or some granular soil, so it will reduce the settlement of the ground as well as it will increase the bearing capacity. So for both the type of the soil, we can go for the dynamic replacement technology. So this last 2-3 questions were just theoretical, so I didn't spend that much time on them, but if you have any doubt with them, like, just shoot your question, no problem. So yeah, last question for today's session. Dynamic replacement technology is suitable for the environment of. Yeah, actually I had kept the answer on them. So any reason? Like, I just now encountered that for the last 2 minutes I was on mute. Actually, I was not having my system today, so there's glitch with this system. I'm extremely sorry. So yeah, the answer is C. For the this method, we are having the saturated cohesive soil as well as the soft organic soil. since we are replacing the soil at the time of the confining or with the like while ground improvement only, so at the time we are putting our replaced soil with the better soil, so it will increase the bearing capacity of the ground as well as it will reduce the settlement of the ground. So we can treat both soils, saturated cohesive soil as well as the soft organic soil. So we'll go for the dynamic replacement technology for both the type of the soil. Any doubt? Any doubt in any of the question for today's session? Okay, thank you, Murthy. So if no doubt, like, let's end our session today. Thank you for attending this. Let's meet on next Tuesday at 6 p.m. And if you want, other than the sample questions, if you want something else need to be covered in this session, please, like, I'll be happy to hear from you guys. So since this video is also on recording session, so the participants or the candidates who are watching on a later stage, you can post your query, or if you are having any other non-technical query, or if you want some session or some part of the course which is not covered in the NPTEL regular lectures, and if you want them to be covered in this session, you can just post them in the comment box. And also some improvement if you want from my end, I'll be happy to get feedback from you guys, and I'll definitely try to improve upon it from the next session. So that's it for today. Thank you once again. Let's meet on next Tuesday.